Alright, so on this episode of What Are We Doing Today, we got a little Honda Civic out here. We gotta do a wheel bearing on. The Ford Escape over there needs a water pump, a couple belts. So let's get in here. He locked his door. Anyway, let's get this Civic in here, check the wheel bearings, see which one it is. He said it's a front wheel bearing, so we're gonna shake it down. He wants to kind of look at it, see if there's any oil leaks or anything like that. So just kind of look over it, but let's get this thing in here, see which wheel bearing it is, get a wheel bearing put on this thing. All right, so this is prime example of, that's just a lot for over there, it's fine. It's prime example of always diagnose it yourself. So they brought me this Civic and said that they thought that it was the wheel bearing on the driver's side. And we spun it and it's not, it's actually the passenger side. So we're gonna take all this stuff off, check everything out. He told me to look it over as well, but I got a wheel bearing on the way for this side. Unfortunately, this is one that you have to press in and out. So get everything off. I gotta take the tie rod end off. I gotta take the, so I gotta take tie rod end, ball joint, these two bolts. I gotta take all this stuff off, axle nut, all that stuff, brake caliper, everything. So do all that stuff, get this off, get the spindle off, and then we'll press the bearing in and out. So I'll get a screwdriver and get that up. Take this off first, then I'll take the caliper off, bracket, caliper, I'll take it all off together. It's two bolts back here, it's one here and one down here. And then after we get this off and hang it, we'll hang it up here. I'll show you what we're gonna do. And then we'll take these off, take the rotor off, and then after that we'll undo the ball joint and the tie rod in, and then we'll go to these here and do them and get them off. All right, y'all, so we got this thing off. Look at there, listen. So definitely the passenger side. Wheel bearings come for you. When he brought it to me, he said he thought it was a driver's side. Obviously, I mean, he's not a mechanic, but I mean, you hear things and things like that. He said he jacked it up and tested it, but I didn't feel any play in any of them, but you can hear this one roaring for sure. So this one's definitely it. If you go over there and spin the other wheel, it makes no noise whatsoever. So we're gonna put this one in. Yeah. Is what it is. Let's get this one out. So you got to press this out. You got to push this centerpiece right here out that way, and then after you push that out that way, you push the rest of the bearing out the other way. No, I'm wrong. Yeah, you push this out and then you push the bearing out the same way, but you have to push this out first because there's a C-clip. Pretty sure there's a C-clip in this side. Let me go in here and get the parts, and I'll show you what the new parts look like. We'll open it up on a different desk here. So I bought the whole kit. You don't necessarily have to buy the whole kit per se. You can sometimes use your original one, right? But if I'm going to this much trouble, I'm gonna go ahead and put you a new one in there. But this kit comes with this piece here, comes with the bearing, right? And then it has a new clip and a new axle nut. So you gotta push this out of the other side. Obviously you gotta go from this back side, push this assembly out, and then you gotta take the C-clip off and push the bearing out, press the bearing out. So what are you doing? You're gonna do how they always do, just. I don't do that on this. This is a sealed bearing. It's not a. Oh. This guy thought we was gonna. How you gonna pack that bearing? Anyway. I didn't see it. So anyway, let's get this thing pressed out. I've seen things where you can take and hammer this out, so we're gonna try that. I'm gonna put it on a thing, and I'm gonna try to beat the thing out, because it don't matter if you mess the bearing up, you know what I'm saying? So let's try that, see what happens. All right, so let me show you this. This is why I buy the new, this is why I go ahead and get that piece. So take this and you can beat it out, right? But it breaks the bearing most of the time. The way this is made, it's like a double bearing, right? There's that clip right there. You gotta get that clip out to beat the bearing out, right? So what I did is I had this obviously was in here, right? This is my axle nut sockets, and it fits right in there, right? So I put this thing in this vise and put the socket on this back side and just beat it out. I don't like using a press that much. I mean, it's great, they're great. I don't use them enough to be as comfortable with them, right? So I saw how somebody done it that way, and I was like, all right, cool. So I'm probably gonna do the same thing with the bearing and see if I can somehow get it out that way. But anyway, the reason I go ahead and replace this is when this breaks like this, right? It gets stuck on this. Now, you can cut those off, right? But which is cheaper? Paying me the time to get this cut off and broke, right? Or spending another, I think it's $30, right, for that, $30 or $40. So I would rather, time-wise, right, it's just the same price pretty much cutting this off as it is to buy a new one. And if you do cut this off and it's been heated, as you can see, look at all the little grooves. Like, that hub is pretty well shot anyway, right? I can feel those with my nail through the glove. So that's shot anyway. So we would have took this apart, just bought the bearing, and been like, oh crap, I gotta get this. Then you're gonna spend more money instead of buying the whole kit, right? So that's just my opinion. I just always go ahead and do that. I mean, I get it if you're on a budget. You could reuse this still, even though it has those, if you were on a top budget, but that's just my opinion on it. So anyway, let's get this bearing out here and get the new one in. All right, anyway, let's pause this real fast before I get anyway, we're in here jamming. We got the bearing out, got the new one here. I'm gonna press it in because of the way this thing feels, right? So we'll figure it out one way or another, figure out a way to press this in. So anyway, we got the old one out. Where's it at? There it is. There's the old one. This thing has two different sides on it, and you have to be careful and put it in the right way. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. It says ABS sensor this side. Can y'all see that? I don't know if you can or not. My screen's tiny. It says ABS sensor this side. So you have to use that side, obviously, toward that wherever the ABS is. On this case, it's on the inside. If you do not, the ABS sensor will not pick up, and then you run into problems. This is for another issue here, but that's the carburetor for this Honda, y'all. Anyway, we're going to get this pressed in and figure out. I gotta go back here on the press and figure out exactly how I want to get it on there and all this stuff. So it's gonna take me a minute. Doing that stuff takes longer than taking it apart, taking it off, putting it on. But anyway, let's get to it. Get this put on, and I hope this is helping somebody as far as doing a wheel bearing on a Honda. This is a 2013 Honda, I think. Might even clean his headlights for him while it's here. Just a little gesture as thank you. So this second car he's brought to me, and he's got another one headed this way very soon. So anyway, let's
this one that ain't good.
It's a little loose, but the boot's not busted or nothing. It seems to be okay. Anyway, let's get this thing back together. All right, so the assembly of it is just pretty much the opposite of disassembly, right? So we got it done, drove the car, got it out here. It's good to go. No more noise on the wheel bearing. We did put it back together, and I ended up having the dust shield was hitting the rotor, so I had to get it off of it a little bit. But good to go on that one. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This was like a one car deal. Do a wheel bearing on a 13 Honda Civic. I'm gonna try to start breaking it up. Try to start breaking it up a little bit more on that. Sometimes, you know, I got something like that, because I've had a couple things that there's no videos on whatsoever. But we're gonna go out there, clean up. I got lunch coming. It's a little late for lunch, but it is what it is. Well, it's 1 o'clock, ain't too bad. I got lunch coming. Dad's bringing me lunch, and Dad and Chris bring me lunch. So go in here, get something to eat. Appreciate y'all watching. I hope y'all like it. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Hey, y'all, we'll see you on the next one.